See how it just stops like that?
I noticed it, but it's not that like noticeable. I know what you're saying. Bad? Yeah, it's not. I know what you're saying. Like you should, if you could somehow fade it out. I guess I don't know.
Originally, it did. It went that last hard note, then it went. Ding.
So and it just cuts in.
And it just stopped.
That might be. That's probably a StreamYard thing. I don't know if you edit it that way, then I don't think that's on your end at all. I don't know why it would do that.
No,
but it's not as noticeable as you think. So I'm just
thank you, Justin.
Absolutely, it hurts.
So listen, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. So happy to have you on. You have no idea. I've never had anybody on to talk about urban legends. I mean, not urban legends. Oh my God. Urban exploring. I say Urbex because if I say urban, I think urban legend. So I always try to do the.
No, I get it. You can, Urbex. It took me a long time to actually like use Urbex as a term for things. Like a lot of people don't know what Urbex is. So
yeah, no.
Urban exploration. What do you do? So I go into these places, and so don't worry, it's new.
All right, so for the paranormal. The brewskis, I like to call them. My brewskis that watch. They're my brewskis. Yeah.
I like it.
So I want to, and myself, because I just met you recently because you were on Darren's show, Question of the Day. And I instantly fell in love. I was like, I have to have him on.
Nice.
So I was happy. I do that to Darren a little bit. Like I kind of like. I'll go. He always gets these people and I've never heard of. But then if I'm in the conversation and I'm like, oh yeah, they got to come on the brew.
You're just sharing, guests. That's all it is. You're just sharing.
I told him. I said I'm going to steal your guests, and then but I said I'm totally going to take not sloppy seconds in a bad way. It was a term.
It's networking. That's what we'll call it. It's networking.
Yeah. So Justin, thank you so much. Where do you live?
I am actually right outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in a town called Muskego. So it's about 20 miles from the lake, Lake Michigan. So I am like more inland, and it's Waukesha County. So Muskego is the same. So I am located right there. So do your Google searches and put on a map.
What's the time difference?
An hour for you and I believe.
Okay.
You're an hour ahead.
Okay.
So it's like 7:30.
Yeah.
It's 7:46 here. It's probably 8:46 where you're at, right?
Ding ding. I always get the time zones confused, but I always I make it a point now because I've had people on. It happened once, and we never said what time zone.
Yeah, that's important.
Oh, yeah.
It's so important. Yeah. Like, especially when you do these type of things, it's like, hey, I'm going to put you on at 8:30. And then, that person is like, in California and they're 3 hours like behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. But the thing with that is like, it expanded before I knew it was expanding,
Sure.
For me, I'm on the East Coast. So most of the people that I would have on my shows when I first started out, I didn't even have a guest. We would just do roundtable. We just did roundtable, and then we started to have guests on, but it was more people that were on the East Coast. So you never had to talk about time zone, and then
and now you're nationwide. See? Worldwide, even worldwide.
Yeah, we have Indonesia and UK that come on.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I'm sure they'll be on this. I mean, it's good, and Indonesia is actually a faithful watcher, so I love that.
That's cool. That's so
Um,
cool.
California is 2 hours.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, yeah, 2 hours. Like, I have a friend who lives in Phoenix that they're the same time zone, so 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to know where everybody's from that's watching, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Like, it'd be, that's odd. Like, if there's people watching from all parts of the United States, especially the world, like, I find
I
that
love that.
intriguing.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too. All right, so let's get to Justin. I'm not going to say anything about me because everybody knows about, that watches knows me.
Yeah.
And it's not about me. I want to know like what got you into this, how you started, and you know, I want to talk about visually creeped for sure.
Mhm.
I subbed to your channel, and I've been stalking you a little bit because you're coming on.
Thank it.
So
That's what it's for. That you gotta stalk the YouTube channels. That's what it's for.
I got to stalk a little bit. So I did my little stalking. So now you're here. So I'm gonna shut up. And if you could just, I'm sure some questions will pop up. We'll get to those. If I don't
Sure.
get to it right away, I will star it. And I promise you, I will ask Justin your question. If he's talking, I just don't want to interrupt.
No, that's yeah, and you can interrupt. Like, if something pops up, you can just stop me at any time.
Yes.
You might find it to be a very interesting, crazy story because I would even say 5 years ago, if it was, I would not think I'd be doing this 5 years
Right.
ago.
Right.
It was weird how it came about, like how I, like even film, or like I picked up a camera and I go out and do what I do. But, let's just start it was, COVID hit. It was 2020. It was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was winter or summer. I can't remember, but I was always, as a kid, especially interested in the paranormal. I was always like wanting to get scared and go to haunted houses during Halloween, the attractions. And, um, I'm 39. So we're talking 2020. That wasn't that long ago. That was a few years ago. So we were locked down, and I had these, like,
Wait, you're 39?
what's that?
You're 39?
I'm 39. Yeah.
I am too.
Oh, really? All
No,
right. 39
no,
power.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm pretending because my
I
little
wouldn't even know.
sister, my little sister, she's 10 years younger than me. And I said her age on Facebook, and she says, "No, I'm 29." I'm like, "Well, if you're 29, I'm 39. And
It
as long
is
as
what
you're
it is. It's just a
39,
number.
I'll be 39."
It's just a number.
Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
No, it's okay. That's actually kind of funny.
No.
Sometimes I lie too. Depends. I still get carded at certain places if I buy like
I can
alcohol.
see that. You do not
Yeah.
look 39. I will totally
Yeah.
say that.
Young face.
Yes, you do have a baby face.
I feel 40 for sure. But anyway, we at that time I was watching a group of YouTubers, on YouTube, obviously, they were just filming themselves going into scary locations. And it was like, weeks of this. And I just was sitting on my couch, and there's this one guy that I watched who was going alone into cemeteries and, like, a couple haunted, like, houses that were abandoned, and just filming himself, basically, scaring the shit out of himself. And I thought it was like the best content ever for me. And I just was like, I can do that. And literally within a few months, I'm buying, high end camera gear and, lights and, spirit boxes and stuff. So it started in 2020. I think June of 2020 was when I like did my first video. And what happened after that is that I was so passionate about it, as I am now. I was going to local cemeteries around where I live, and I actually, like, I caught some evidence, and I got picked up by a couple top 5 channels that saw my YouTube videos. And then, like, I remember there was one, I think it was, he's called Chills. I think it was Chills on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He featured one of my videos, and I woke up after, like, I found out that he was going to do it because he emailed me and asking if he could use the video. And then after it happened, like after he posted the video, this was like a couple weeks after, I woke up and there was like, I had 3,000 new subscribers to my channel.
That's
And
amazing.
it really just motivated me to keep like, okay, then it happened again on another top 5. And then like Travel Channel came along asking for content. And then like, now I'm on Paraflixx, obviously. So it just was like a snowball effect. It happened like really quick.
That's
And
awesome.
so that's really the story of like how in Visually Creep, the name, a lot of people get kind of like, they're like, what is that?
I love it.
Well, during that time when we were locked down, I was actually like trying to find ways I could do my own top 5 scary videos. And I was like trying to like take clips from other YouTube channels and put them in my little montage of like, editing software and trying to narrate it in a way. It started off there, but I gave that up pretty quick when I started watching these guys going out and they were holding like just their cell phones really. And I'm like, I got a cell phone. I can record myself in a cemetery and go, see if there's ghosts. And really that's how it started. So Visually Creeped was supposed to be like, it originally started as like a scary top 5 channel. And I just kept the name. I was just like Visually Creeped TV. So yeah, that's to the T what happened. And it was nuts. It's just everything just kind of like.
So then how do you know how you made, hold on, there's some, do you know how you made that transaction? Like what did you stumble across something and you're like, oh, this is really cool. Let me go check this out, and saw that you like doing that more than what you originally had started doing?
Yeah, so I was like, what happened is that I was so motivated to go, like I was doing like every week I was going to like a new cemetery, at least like within 20 miles from where I lived. And I was doing that for a while. Then that ran out. And then I was going to, I was trying to find like any place that was like considered haunted. Like in Wisconsin, we have a lot of like an indigenous like land, like Indian burial grounds. And like, it's all Native American here. And I was going into like the woods, doing trails and like, I didn't really, I don't know. It was weird because when I filmed with a couple big YouTubers and I traveled out to like Tennessee and I went to like Hales Bar Dam and then I went to Texas, did a whole week and I did like a bunch of videos in Texas and I just was doing a lot of different things. And now it's like where I'm kind of like, I'm going more, it's weird. It's like, if it's haunted, I'll go to it if someone's telling me it's haunted. But I'm kind of like, I'm going into the cryptid side a little bit too, because you got that factor, like with a lot of stuff, especially in Wisconsin. There's
Do you
so
believe
many.
in all of this stuff, or you're looking for it?
I don't actually believe it.
So you
at first.
want to experience it.
I want to like, right. So if there's clips, let's say we go online and there's like someone who saw a Bigfoot and there's all these reports and there's like police officers, there's doctors, there's all these like officials, or there's like people that are just not willing. Like when you do the research, you start realizing who's coming forward with all this information. Like, okay, like the Beast of Bray Road is actually like kind of in my backyard. That is a huge folklore, like kind of like tale. Like there's this 4-mile stretch of road and people are seeing a werewolf. Now, when I first heard that, I laughed. Mm-hmm. But you have locals for the last 30 years there's something happening out there. It might be UFO connected even. So now I find myself going from like ghosts, cryptid, alien, cattle mutilization even. It's just crazy. So everything is just kind of like, I don't even know what to do with it. So I don't believe in it right away. I have to kind of like, I have to experience at least something from the stories that I hear. And a lot of the time I do. A lot of the time.
I missed this. I'm sorry. But you talked about it. Did you see this comment?
Yeah, that's the Bray. Yeah, the Bray Road Beast, or the Beast of Bray Road. That's actually, there's an episode on Paraflixx that I did. We heard some stuff in a cornfield. We were running through a cornfield and
Didn't you say though that you live near it?
I don't. Well, I mean, it's like I live like probably 40 minutes away actually from where that is. Yeah, 45 minutes away. Yeah, yeah. So I did, and actually they just had a Facebook group. There's people like every summer at least. There's like this huge convention for the Beast of Bray Road, and like I'm trying to right now. Actually, there's a farmer who puts trail cams and has actually caught strange things on these trail cams, like
You can't
lights in the
explain it?
sky and all these like UFO phenomenon, and then like there's like these apparitions and like the cattle being cut
And you
open in weird ways. So
and you see it though?
you can see like see no.
And,
you
like, and that's the thing, even with Skinwalker Ranch, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean that is such a huge
you
thing too.
can't get anything. It's almost like it's smarter than the technology.
Right, and it's like Skinwalker, and that's what they're like. The Beast of Bray Road, for example, they're believing that that creature that people are seeing is a Skinwalker, and it's related to a lot of the Indian folklore.
See, I can't.
So
I can't.
I don't know a lot about it. I try to study what I can, but there's like you hear these crazy stories. It's like, all right, there's literally hundreds of people for years that are talking about this. I got to go see what this is about, and that's kind of how I find my spots and locations, I guess. But the big box locations, like let's say Waverly Hills, I stay away from places like that because it's been overdone.
Yeah.
I want the small town, like, Blair Witch Project type stuff, the stuff that you kind of hear about, but no one has really investigated it. So I'm kind of there.
Aren't you
right
afraid
now.
of like wrong turn people?
Yeah.
Thank God. Like what you do sounds so cool. I'm like, I would love to do that.
It's so hard at the same time because like I have this like right now like I'm
that was the best. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Like I'm investigating right now. Like this is the last 3 years I've been investigating missing people in national forest, the missing 411, if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
It has been twisting in circles between, okay, there's like people living under the ground in caves coming up and stealing people that are going missing. And then it went from that to like, it's UFOs and aliens, it's Bigfoots, and it's all this other stuff. I have 12 cases of the missing 411, 2 hours for me. And I have been filming it.
That stuff?
What's that?
You say you help out with that stuff?
No, I'm researching it, and I'm trying to film my videos that you're going to see in the future. That's going to be very much around that.
That's
so
cool. See, this isn't what people do. Like it is different what you're doing.
Well, very much so. Yeah. People just don't do it because it's scary as shit. Like
yeah.
It really is. It scares me. It does.
It scares me for you.
Yeah. I wear, it's funny because I wear a GPS beacon for search and rescue on my backpack. You see it in a lot of my photos.
That's smart.
And it's like, and I go armed in the woods. If I go in the woods, it's just crazy. Like the missing 411 stuff, especially, is to me very spooky because there's the theories behind it is like it's interdimensional portals, or it's aliens sucking people up in the sky, or there's like murderers and serial killers that are causing this. And when you go look for something, you got to be careful what you look for. So I'm prepared when I go out there, but it's not still to this day. It's like I have to think twice before I actually pull the trigger on, okay, I'm about to go like 8 miles deep into the woods from my car type thing.
So you're not specific to urban legends. I mean, I know, you know what I mean?
No, not necessarily. No. But I'm intrigued by them. Like the Beast of Bray Road is definitely an urban legend that has not been explained. I'm not saying it's real or fake. But no one has actually caught video of it,
Listen, as much as I would love for you to come to New Jersey, the Jersey Devil doesn't exist.
I've heard about that, yes.
Yeah.
So that's not a thing.
Come check it out, but I'm telling you, it doesn't exist.
That's funny because we have something similar in northern Wisconsin called the hodag, and it's like this lizard, like I don't know. There's like a statue of it when you first go into that little small town. It's like, okay, get out of here with that. Like no one's seen that.
I mean, I could probably sign up for the part.
Yeah.
I could certainly sign up for the Jersey Devil part, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, when it comes to things like that, like the Jersey, I've heard like, okay, so like I would pick like Mothman over like the Jersey Devil type.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Because thousands of people saw Mothman, but the Jersey Devil, like I don't know, there's just a bunch of drunk people in the woods, I think, or something. I don't know.
It's wrong turn people too.
Yeah,
that's why I don't go back. That is my biggest fear. Everybody, the only woods that I can go into and I feel safe is Gettysburg. That's it.
See, and that, you know what? Now that you say that, you know what I want to do?
Yes.
I want to like pitch a tent on the battlefields of Gettysburg.
Yes.
That's my next. That's like I'm going to try to do that. And
So I said, if the Boy Scouts can do it, why can't other people do? I said, I have all these nieces and nephews. I'm like, one of you little bitches better sign up for Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, and I'm going to be a chaperone. They go and they camp out at the Pennsylvania Monument.
they really can just camp out there. Like like you can't just, okay, like if I showed up, I can't just walk onto the grounds and camp out.
You can, but you have to be out by a certain time. Now, with that
Oh,
being said, there are houses inside the park that you can rent, farmhouses that
okay.
are pre-Civil War. They're in the middle of the park. The lights go out. You can't even see the house unless the light's on. I've gotten some really cool pictures
Wow. Okay.
because all you'll see is this yellow square in the middle of the field, but it's because you can't see the rest of the house. All you see is like the bedroom light on.
Oh, okay. 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 Okay.
But they sleep anywhere from like 8 to 10 people. You know, they do have minimum nights, so like, which twists my arm to stay in Gettysburg for more than one night. But
Yeah.
I think minimum stays for some of them are like 2 or 3 days,
Sure.
or 2 or 3 nights, which that's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I hope nobody that I know that works in Gettysburg as a park ranger or a police officer or anything like that. But I would wear all black and just go out, because you're technically not supposed to be in the park past a half hour past sunset.
See, now you're speaking my language. You got to do what you got to do, and that's just yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Camouflage. That's it.
I will so do it with you.
Hey, no sign, no crime. That's what it takes sometimes. Hey, that all rhymed.
Hey, let's go. That was amazing.
Yeah. I start rapping the paranormal.
Yeah, no, you got to get that, like, you get that on a shirt.
That's what I'm saying. And there's a lot of times where I've gone, and especially in Wisconsin, like the trespassing laws, like you get trespassed here, you get a ticket, second time, maybe another one. You go to jail for like a year here. If you're caught enough. And I don't break into places. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if I don't see a no trespassing sign and it's there, I'm going to kind of like, I might just wander into there.
We got to go strapped. Well, not Gettysburg. Gettysburg, we're fine. Anywhere else?
Well, you know what's funny about a lot of laws in a lot of U.S. states? If you're carrying, even if you're licensed and you're caught trespassing, it turns into a felony.
Wow. Well, you know what? It's worth it.
Yeah. I'll throw the the gun in the woods as I'm running away from the cops, so they don't find that. But yeah, no.
Yeah, if we're camouflaged, they won't see us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, you have to kind of that's what it takes, and yeah, I found myself doing that quite a bit. You just got to do it.
You got to be a ninja.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me see here. So Rachel said you should look into Fort Duffield. Contact Ernie and Dennis Pack.
Fort Duffield. Never heard of that. Where is that?
That's probably out by you, probably.
Okay. If it is, I'll go there.
FBI believe it's a cult of missing people. They call it the smiley face missing. There's always a smiley face near where people disappear. I think when we were talking about 411.
Oh. Okay. That's up my alley.
Yeah, the missing 411 or whatever.
Yes, yeah,
he's saying it's a cult of missing people. What do you mean, like they disappear together?
Like, yeah, it's weird because like it was like a retired police officer who actually like was approached by a park ranger, and this is like all national parks throughout the United States. There's like over 1,600 cases. By now it's probably like 3,000 or if not more. It's all over the world actually, that there's certain profiles that it has to like fall, like the way that they went missing, and if their clothes were found nearby, or if they like the elevate, it's just so deep. I couldn't even probably explain to you in this whole like podcast, but to make a missing 411 profile case, it consists of a lot of things.
Really?
But, oh yeah, it's crazy. Like when you search and rescue come out, the dogs most of the time, at least
taking people.
There's okay, that's probably
like
actually
long
one of the
term.
theories. Yeah, there's if you look at a map and you see, on a United States map, and you're kind of looking at it, and you have pins all over the map of where the missing 411 cases are, they're actually, every single one of them, like the way that it flows through the United States is over cave systems, and a lot of it's unexplored.
Hold that thought for 1 second, because
No worries.
something happened. Jason Snyder just put up a comment, and I don't know. Oh, there it is. What did I do? Never mind. I am sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was just relating to the fact that, like, there's one of the theories about the missing 411 is that there's this like hidden tribe of people that live underground, and when you go on a map and you look at all the cases, about 2,000 of them, a lot, if you were to pin it, all of it's mostly over cave systems, and a lot of them that are unexplored. They know they're there, the cave systems, but they just haven't been in. Like, there's a lot of unexplored caves, like where all these Smoky Mountains, all the way up to Wisconsin, all the way to California. It's just crazy.
Listen, if I ever go missing, anybody that's watching this, and that includes you, Justin, you are not off the hook.
I got to go find you.
You all better come looking for me.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't go looking for missing people. I don't want to go missing either.
I don't want you. No, I want you to find me. You can't go missing.
Yeah, a lot of the times, like, they can't, when they start searching for people, it's always like one of the things about like what stops search and rescue. Almost every time, there's always like some crazy weather that just stirs up while they're trying to find somebody, like right away after they've been reported missing, like snowstorms and like crazy weather. Search and rescue helicopters can't get. It's nuts, and it's every time.
You know what's crazy to me? The people that are on Mount Everest.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
I don't understand how they can't get them.
I mean the weather up like that's high elevation, I guess. I'd like the oxygen is absolutely low. But like,
right? If I'm a person, so if I can make it up that far to see that person, then I could just grab them and go back down.
Yeah, but it's all like, isn't it like they have to like, like free climb basically to get ropes up? I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. I want to look that up. I know Mount Everest is not an easy mountain to climb.
I wouldn't think so. And I'm telling you right now, that's why I don't do that stuff. I'll do what you do, but I would have to have some sort of weapon on me, because long-term people are going to be having sexy time on my dead body. That's just not. It's not going to happen.
That
is the biggest fear.
The woods are scary, no doubt. And that's why, like, that's the content that I want to put out, is like the woods are scary. Like, they are just unknown. A lot of people just don't go looking for scary stuff in the woods.
Except Gettysburg isn't scary.
Yeah, maybe not now, but like, I've seen videos online, right? Like where they saw apparitions of a soldier. That stuff
doesn't scare me. That
doesn't scare me too much either. Like,
I would want to see that. I don't want to, like, if I went to the woods in Jersey, the Pine Barrens, forget. There's no way.
No.
There's so many wrong turn people, or pineys is what
the wrong turn people. That is, I was just thinking this the other day. There's like it might have been from you. Did I see a Facebook post from you where you actually, I want to go camping in the woods type picture?
Then I remember this.
That was okay.
Yes, it's me. Yes.
Yeah.
I said, but then I remember this.
Always pops up in my head when I do that stuff, for sure.
Me too.
Cannibals.
No, see, no, and it's just like, it's so fucked up. Like, I can't even. Oh, I don't. Well, it's my show. I can curse.
Yeah, sorry, you do whatever you want on your show. I didn't hear nothing. What? The wrong turn people. That's funny.
Scares me.
It's true though, because there is, anytime that I've came across like something in the middle of the woods, like stuff I like times where I wasn't even filming, there'd be like this random cabin and there's an outhouse behind it. And what are we in 2023? Yeah, I'm like, that's the wrong turn type of house right there. They're
Get
chopping.
out, run
Yeah.
away. Yes. I've seen too many movies. Like, and
Yep.
when I was little, I used to be able to watch those movies and laugh at them. Right
Yep.
now, I have anxiety for 3 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre ruined me. I'm like, I'll never
Did
watch
it
another
really?
one ever again. The last one
Those are
I saw.
raunchy.
So the last one I saw had Jessica Biel in it. That
Oh
was the last.
yes. Yep.
I couldn't eat pizza for like 3 weeks. I couldn't eat soup. I was like, my anxiety was. I was like, I can't watch these movies anymore.
They're very gory movies though, but the surprise factor in those movies are phenomenal. For one, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre for sure. If I were in the plains of Texas and I saw a house in the middle of a field, I'm out. I'm out in there. Not going there.
No.
Yeah, I'm not asking for gas or water or a phone.
This is my old boss. He's a very good friend of mine. He's Dr. J, I call him.
Dr. J.
He's never been on one of my lives, so hey.
Nice. All right, nice.
But yes, he is somebody that I took to Batstow, and he was scared out of his mind. So
nice.
It is it's a cool place though. Batstow's cool, but the rest of the surrounding area woods is not good.
I like the woods.
I like the wood. I want to be in the woods more, but not in Jersey.
No, not in Jersey. Hey. No. Okay. Well, all right.
It's cool. I mean, like Batstow, what Jay was talking about, Batstow Village is, really cool. There's a mansion on the property. It used to be a mill. So it's like all the workers' houses are there and everything. Everything's abandoned. You can walk around. But I like the stuff where you come across like the foundations and where houses used to be, or where houses that are like, I want to go in so bad, but then that face pops in my head and I'm like, my luck.
Yeah.
Some crazy ass mother bitch in there, like just waiting for somebody like me.
Every horror movie that you've ever seen just starts manifesting in your head.
Ever.
I get it. That happens with me too all the time. I'll hear things and I'm like, oh shit. Like,
I watch too much. I watch too much ID on Discovery, and I've watched too many horror movies. Like even what was that movie? Strangers.
Oof. Oh yeah, strange. Yeah, you know what? That one. That's a mental.
First knock on the door, I would have been out. Like, nope.
I think it did it to everybody who saw that movie because it was that. Yeah, it was that movie. It definitely made you on. Like you heard a creak on your floorboard and you're upstairs and you hear the creak downstairs. That was that type of movie. Like you're ready to stand.
It could really happen.
And it did actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, actually happened.
Really, that could really happen in real life. Like
that story is actually true about that movie, The Strangers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they said they based it off of like the Sharon Tate.
Well, true, what they say, true events or based off of true events or something. Yeah,
but I mean, literally, that could really happen in real life.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right, because people are crazy, but like Michael Myers and stuff, you're like, okay, it could, it's not really, but something like that could really happen, like the Wrong Turn movies. That could really happen.
Just a bunch of people in the woods eating other people that are coming in.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, that makes it it definitely makes it scary with movies like that. And I do think about those things too when I go out. Like if I go out somewhere and I'm alone and I'm like,
Here's the thing though, I wouldn't care about the felony part because I would be alive.
True.
And I wouldn't be tortured in that way. So I wouldn't care.
Sawed off.
I would be like, all right, fine, arrest me, officer. I defended my life. I know I was.
I'm alive.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Take my cheese sandwich now in my jail cell. You're eating.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Rachel says Fort Duffield is in Kentucky. It has never been investigated before. Ernie and Denise are starting to take reservations in so many words. Schedule yourself to investigate. You should both definitely look into it. Well, I think Kentucky's probably closer to you than me.
Yeah, I've been through. I did there's a cave system. It's going to sound a little weird, but when I went through Kentucky from Tennessee coming back up to Wisconsin, and I was in this very huge like man-made cave. That's the only part of Kentucky. I don't even know where it was, to be honest with you. I was taken there and it was the scariest shit ever. But that I know Kentucky has its places. Like I've heard a lot of things about like there's spots in Kentucky that people are like, you just got to go to. And I just never really have yet.
So Kentucky's close.
Yeah. For me, it's like maybe 7 hours away.
How do you know that? You don't know stuff like that. He was saying
What?
about the wrong turn or the movie Strangers. Is Tamara there? I'm like, why would you even like? I wouldn't even answer the door. Like I wouldn't answer the door.
You answer the door with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, you know.
Weird. And then you look out the window, is weird people with masks on? No, I'd be like 911.
Yeah.
Hello, bring back up, bring the bomb.
That's a no-no. Don't ever answer the door if they have mask on for sure.
No,
Yeah.
why?
I don't think so.
The David Omen's house.
I
don't know that one.
I don't know that one either. Yeah. I usually hear about a lot of places, like, you know, the stuff you see on TV, like you see all the big box locations that everybody wants to do and be a face for.
So Nicole said that's why we have dogs. Well, here's the thing. I would jump in front of my dog. Like I would save my dog's life.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the things I get so mad at the movies. I'm like, why are they throwing the dogs outside to go see what it is?
You know, they're going to kill the dog.
Yeah,
right away.
I don't want my dog to get killed.
That happens in every movie. Every scary movie, the dog dies right away. Goes barking off into the woods.
Yeah,
and then you hear a yelp.
You're like basically telling your kid, go ahead, go get kidnapped and killed.
Yeah.
Wow. See, there you go, Justin. It was meant to be that you were on here and I'm watching. Because she was talking about the house. What was it?
Which house?
Oh, the Fort Duffield.
Yes. Yeah. No, I want to know definitely more. I'll research that for sure. Absolutely.
All right. So, what's been your most favorite place that you've been so far?
Okay, I'll tell you, because I know it. It was my favorite place, but it was the most scariest place I've ever been to, and that's probably why it's my favorite, because that's, you know, I will tell you, I almost quit the day I started. Basically, when I went to this place, like I was like a month into doing what I do. I was with another YouTuber that hosted this place. He took me to Tennessee, Hales Bar Dam, which is a dam that was built in like the early 1900s, right off the Tennessee River. And a bunch of people while building it died. There was cave-ins in the tunnels that run underneath the river. I got off a plane. I didn't know even where I was going. And this place has been on many TV shows, like all the ones that like Ghost Adventures and stuff. They've been there. And when we pulled in, he kept it a secret until we pulled in. But as soon as I saw it, I knew I saw it from these TV shows. I'm like, oh my God, we're here. So I was excited until I had to walk the tunnels underneath. Like it was like 100 yards of dark, pitch black tunnels that went under a river, a flowing river. I had to walk through those by myself. That was part of what we had to film. And while I was in there, I walked through them 3 times.
I would probably peed my pants. I'm not even kidding.
I was like, so that's why Travel Channel picked up some of my stuff, is because it started there. Because I was so scared. They were like, okay, this guy is obviously shitting himself. It was literally, I was frozen.
I would probably be crying.
I was damn near. Yeah. It was, I started walking these tunnels, which were rumored to be haunted, with these 2 little girls, that the tunnel system that went under the river in the early 1900s actually led to a school while they were constructing the dam. They would take these tunnels, these kids, to the school, and they would come home on the way back. Mm-hmm. And it would be under this river. Well, the tunnel collapsed one day and water caved in, and 2 little girls, it's recorded history, actually ended up passing away because of the tunnel flooding.
Oh,
So
God,
when I was in there knowing this, after I took the tour and I'm hearing this, it was my turn to go walk these tunnels by myself. And I'm not, and it's on video. It's verified footage that kind of put me where I'm at now. Like I was hearing little feet scuff behind me as I was walking. I heard women singing, and it's all on my microphone on my camera. And it was just like all these things happened, and I was up for almost 24 hours. So then you have your sleep and your tiredness, and it
Yeah.
was just the most horrible time of my life. But I would say that is the one place that I would actually be scared to go back to, because
Really?
I've actually witnessed the craziest. Like I heard giggling behind me at my ear, and I'm like sitting there with my flashlight and I'm frozen. And there's one way in and one way out. That's the scariest you can get. That is the scariest you can get.
I mean, I honestly, like, I don't know how you did that, because I probably would. So if you had just walked straight through, like, it would have taken you. I'm guesstimating, right? Or I'm not guesstimating. I'm just for conversation's sake.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to walk through, it'd be 5 minutes. Me, I would make it about a 2.5 to 3 hour long thing, because I would not want to be. I would be like,
You're scuffing your feet, like you're hearing
stopping,
everything,
and you're staying in the same place for about 4 minutes, not moving
yeah,
or breathing, and then you just, I'm going to shut my light off. But
yeah. That's
like
there
that
was.
there we go. But that is how I would make it a 5 minute walk. I would make
Yeah.
it a 3.5 hour ordeal.
And it's true that you say that, because there is times while you're walking, I'm saying about a football field length. I mean, that's what I would probably estimate it to be. When you're scared already and you're hearing things, there's time you slow down, you try to listen, and you don't know what you're hearing, if you're hearing it. And then there's like, you hear just, and then you turn off your light. And what I found myself doing is that I was like, I had my camera with my display. I could see I was filming myself, and I could see my display. So I was taking my flashlight, and I was like looking at my display at the same time, looking forward to see behind me, because I kept hearing stuff behind me. So it was like
Crazy.
there was something whispering or talking and dropping things behind me. And then I'm also looking for what's in front of me. And it was the scariest. Oh my God.
You caught it on the audio?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was,
and
yeah.
that's good, because anybody could have argued, oh, well, you were sleep deprived.
There was little girls. You could hear voices of a little girl asking questions, and I don't remember. You cannot make it out. But then there was a woman singing, and then there was like what sounded like coins being dropped.
Oh wow!
And I'm telling you, there was nobody. Like, there was nobody in this tunnel system. There is literally nobody there. And
especially a woman and children, like
it. Yeah. I heard a baby cry. I think that's what it started with, a baby, I couldn't even replicate it. It was just like, it sounded like a baby cry. Yeah. And that's what caught my attention. And all of a sudden you would hear this, like on cement. It was like this, but when that was happening, I'm like, I'm done doing this. I want to leave. That's how I was. I was like, I'm done. I can't.
I don't
blame
you.
I'm done. Like it's here.
Yeah. You guys hear it. We hear it. All right. I'm turning around.
So the guy that I was with when I came, he was 2 floors above me. He was filming his own segments, and he actually ended up, when he went and did the tunnels, he actually cried. He was in tears when he came out. Yeah.
I just want to say, here's Miss Indonesia, Ajing from Indonesia.
Oh, hi. Yeah, thanks for watching. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just wanted to tell you that really quick.
Indonesia. All right.
Yeah. It's like literally, I always ask her, but I think it's like 1 or 2, maybe 12:30 in the morning or 1 in the morning. She's so faithful. I love her.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I get goosebumps just listening. I know. I can't. I would cry my eyes out. There's
yeah.
So
it happened. Like, I'm telling you, it actually, and it's weird because when I tell you that I took a trip, And it was like my first, like what I call like week runs. Cause that's usually like how I started. I would go like I'd fly somewhere for a week and film like 5 videos and just have 5 videos stacked up that I could drop for the next 5 weeks, 1 video a week. That's how I would do it. And this was like the second day. And I'm like, I was like ready to, like, I was with a known guy, like someone who was putting me on his channel and his live. I got hundreds of subscribers from this guy just by him saying that he was with me, and I wanted to quit. And then he talked me out of it. But then when he went and down in the tunnels, he was clearly very uncomfortable, just like I was. And I was ready to quit. I was ready to go home.
Yeah.
But we talked each other out of it. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, we got to go back. We went back another night on a separate day. So like that happened on like a Monday. We went back on Friday and we filmed another video. And
that's cool.
Yeah. It was just like, now I have to, like, you get the itch to like, okay, what was that type thing? You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. My first experience, I was like, wow, that wasn't that bad. I want to know more.
Yeah. It didn't kill me. So, but we didn't hear those sounds when we went back there because we were walking those tunnels together the second time.
Wow. And you guys didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did he have any experiences with what he was doing up above?
There was so many things that happened in that building. Like there was so many corridors and just like you would hear talking all the time in this place. And then like it rained while we were there. So then water is the flow of water. So like we're in a dam where there's water like kind of just flowing through this whole place. I have now believed that like certain places, especially being at that dam where there's a lot of flowing water, and places where I've been where there's flowing water, it's almost like you hear voices within it. And it's weird. I don't know what that is, but I have caught a lot of stuff in my mic, my camera audio from water being nearby that's flowing. It's weird.
Water is a natural conduit for supposed paranormal activity,
Yeah. So that was, you would hear things like you would hear talking conversations or like a man, like there, and I'm telling you, we were the only 2 people in there. We had the police actually, like the police were actually on the outside watching the place for us while we were there. And that's how locked down it was. So yeah, I wanted to quit when I heard what I heard. But yeah, that's what got me on the Paranormal Caught on Camera on Travel Channel was that video. So it was,
that's awesome.
Then I'm like, okay, I got to go find more stuff. Let's go.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I'm scared shitless every time. I'm not going to lie. Well, I'm a human.
Wait, but Mike said I pooped my pants just listening.
True story, Mike. Yeah. I talked to Mike earlier today. We're hopefully going to collaborate, but the next things like we're going in the woods, man, the woods. Like
he just asked me when he comes to Gettysburg, if I'm going to take him. Where is it? He said, when we come to Gettysburg, are you going to take us through the woods? Yeah.
See, now so Mike's driving. I'm supposed to, we've had this thing. I might be coming to Gettysburg with Mike.
Oh, you should. It's going to be so fun.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to plan it out still. So Mike, if you're listening, I'm working that out. I know like if it's 4 or 5 days or whatever, I can work it out. But, I do want to come to Gettysburg, and I'm telling you, if there's like ways we can get around Gettysburg, you know what I mean? Like get around it. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate video to me. Like that's like, you know how many people have passed away there
I go once a month.
And okay, you're the tour guide. I get it.
There's the coordinates.
Really?
For Gettysburg. Those are the coordinates
really
for Gettysburg.
Coordinates for Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like Gettysburg. Yes. Okay, Mike. Mike, we got a tour guide. She's got coordinates.
I have. Everybody tells me I should be the mayor of Gettysburg.
Okay, well, we got to go to Gettysburg. All right, I'm coming to Gettysburg. That's got to happen.
You have to.
I want to do the like what people like. Okay, you could. You know how like some of these places have like, oh, we're gonna do a group ghost hunt. I don't do that shit. I can't. I want to go by myself or with 1 to 2, 3 people tops and sidetrack from what you're, I don't want to hear in this group experience stuff, they make money off of this. This is not something that you can't experience haunts when there's 25 people in a mental asylum and they're all trying to capture EVPs. Think about that. Doesn't happen. That's why I don't go to big box locations, and I'm not paying $2,000 for Waverly.
Right.
Put that on the record, because that's a ripoff. So
2,000?
At least, yeah, 1,800 they quoted me. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. There's a lot of places that do that now because they, especially during Halloween, they'll turn them into haunted attractions, and they're like, oh, come in, pay $30 for Halloween, but if you want to investigate it by yourself, you'll pay, like, it's in $1,500 range for sure. Most places.
So crazy.
Yeah, that's why.
Mike is agreeing with you. Mike said Taryn is our girl.
So we need a tent, right? And we need we need. So what I'm saying is, like, if you like when we do the wood stuff, so what people aren't doing here, I'm gonna put it this way, and this is a secret. So you guys are gonna get a little secret right now. A lot of the shows you see via YouTube, even my network, Paraflixx, and even Travel Channel, Discovery, it's group investigators, 5 or more, and they're going to these big box locations, right? It's the same thing. Oh, I heard a voice. Oh, there was a shadow. And then, oh, there was this EVP, right?
Right.
Everybody's doing it, and everybody wants to be the main character in this genre. And that's not me trying to start shit. I'm just telling you that if you want to actually catch attention, you got to go back and try to capture if Blair Witch was real, that's what you got to do. But nobody is doing it. You have to really, if skinwalkers are scary as hell. They are seen all over Native American woodlands in the United States. You need to go to those places, but people won't do it by themselves. They won't do it at all. That is what's going to,
that's it.
But Gettysburg, in my opinion, I have never really seen an actual video of anybody actually being in Gettysburg on a battlefield of and I don't want to disrespect the soldiers that actually lost their lives there. What I'm trying to if there's actually activity on that battlefield, I want to be able to experience it. And if we can capture it on film, even better. It's a great place to try to do it.
Oh, you're kidding. Rob says that he married a skinwalker.
I married a skinwalker. He's waking up at night, gurgling and spitting out phlegm. Oh yeah. Growing claws.
True about skinwalkers. Hello.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I do Little Round Top. Absolutely, Jay Patel. Thank you for sure. Hold on. Somebody, Rob pointed out a properly run event can be fruitful. And I agree. It depends on, what's going on. I just was working at the Penhurst Paracon, and it went great. The only thing that they should have did differently, and I told them this, so they already know this. I'm not being mean, but when they were doing the daytime tours and ghost hunts and stuff, they had it free roam. So, or at nighttime they were free roam. So at night, so you can't really do an investigation with a free roam investigation where you don't know who's coming and going, and people are talking, and a lot of people were just doing history walkthroughs, and not really ghost hunting, and it was just really, really hard to even do anything. So I told them that. I said, next year you might want to do groups.
Yeah.
Have groups and rotate groups out.
And I understand why a place like that, they don't want people free roaming. There's not, you got to think about where you're at. There's a certain amount of respect you got to have just being there, for one. And I don't ever try to do that. I don't want to disrupt history and the people
no.
You know what I mean? But if I'm on a wood line, and if there's a chance, if they're seeing soldiers still walking around from that time era, and there's I want to see that. That is the one place I think that it's probably the most active, I would say, in the whole United States, if not the world. It was a huge war. It was a huge war. A lot of young people.
Point. Yeah, that was the turning point of the Civil War. There was a lot of things that happened there, and I'll have to send you the picture I got of the soldier on the railroad cut. I literally I go there so much. I've never caught a video,
Mhm.
um, and in all the years of investigating, I have 2 pictures, and they both were caught at Gettysburg. One was with a full spectrum camera, one was with the normal
Yep.
camera. I was not ghost hunting either time. I was
Yeah.
just doing scenery pictures. Um, so I haven't had anything since, but I do get a lot of EVPs. I have a lot of personal experiences. I got stuff on
Sure.
audio, video there, because it doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't
Yep.
matter where you're at. You could be at it could be the new Holiday Inn they just built.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
have experiences everywhere throughout that
It could be
entire time.
anywhere. And that's the thing, like a lot, that's why I say like a lot of people like are they're gravitated towards like going to like, oh well, I gotta go to the Queen Mary, or they're like this just like, okay, well, you can have those experiences there. Simply what I'm trying to do is give you something that you're not typically seeing. I don't script anything. I don't put reenactments in anything. I hold a camera up and I give you the POV aspect of it, because to me, when you're watching it on TV or your computer or your phone, I want your eyes to be able to be like where mine eyes are at. So like I try not to cut a lot, in videos, and like give you cut scenes. And it's important because you want people, like, especially if we're doing an investigation, especially like a place like Gettysburg, would you not want a more of a POV experience rather
For
than
sure.
like a show, like,
Well,
well, here's
so
the battlefield, and it's like panning a camera across the field. No,
yeah,
let's walk across the field, and I want you to
yeah.
see like the grass and
I
the
do
bird,
that. So I call it Gettysburg day tripping when I go. So
Mhm.
one year I was there for about 10 days, and I just started walking everywhere. And I came
Yeah.
across and I was live on Facebook, and I came across the school was on fire. The news was there. I was like,
Wow.
if I was driving around, I would have missed that. There's so many things that happened
Yeah.
like while I was walking, um, that I would have missed. And I started to
Yep.
realize I'm like, driving in a car in a place like that, you miss so much.
Yeah,
You like even just
for sure.
in an open field, you miss so much. So I
Yeah,
love
that's
walking
true.
through. I
That
love
is
walking.
true. Yeah. You got to get out and like almost explore.
You have to explore. I love
You just
exploring
got
it.
to
I
explore,
love it.
people. For sure.
Really, really quick, there was a couple questions. Let me just get to them
Sure.
really quick. How do you handle a finding of any possible human remains?
Um, I have not ever actually stumbled upon that
Thank
yet,
God.
but
You call the cops, I guess, right? I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, at first, yeah, don't touch anything. I guess like the common sense stuff, like don't if I mean, it depends. Like if you find bones, let's say, you still don't want to disrupt the area that it's even sitting on. So yeah, call the police. That's how I would deal with it. I don't ever want to have to like, especially in the woods, you never know what you're gonna find. Like, if I found like a human skull or like a body, like I would probably feel horrible for one.
well, I've
Um
always wanted to be a crime scene investigator, so I would have been like, "All right, so what we have here is this."
yeah.
Totally trying to picture myself trying to solve a crime.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Like I'd be like, yeah. Me, I would be like, yeah, dude, we just saw a skull. We just saw a skull. Let's go. Let's go. We're leaving. YouTube ain't putting it up, bro. We gotta go. We gotta go. Yeah, there
this is a good
for
one.
sure. That's how I would handle that.
I wondered this too while you were talking, but I didn't want to interrupt you. But what about Japan's suicide forest?
I've heard many things about that and seen many videos and documentaries on that. And that place is very mystical, in my opinion. The locals, like that, don't they find like, what is it? I just saw something like weeks ago about that, where they find hundreds of people, not hundreds, but dozens, maybe dozens of people that have passed away in there, or like ended their own lives. Um, you know, it's called Suicide Forest for a reason, and it's probably a place I wouldn't want to go personally, because it's obviously a place where, like, I don't know, maybe it got famous
Very,
because it just
yeah,
it's too dark and it's too personal.
yeah.
You
I
know,
agree with you. I agree with
yeah.
you.
There's I don't think there's anything very like mysterious about it. Like there's no alien stuff happening there. I think it's a very dense forest with a very confusing layout. and people, for whatever reason, because somebody else did it and it just kept repeating itself, it just,
And
people
became
just,
news, right? All these people go there
yeah,
to commit suicide.
it's a sad place. It's a sad
Yeah.
place. Yeah. I would like to go and visit, and actually, like, if people are saying like, hey, I can't explain why I'm like getting lost, and like no one's ever been maybe they are lost and they're deciding to end their lives. I don't know. So
Listen,
I'm gonna keep it open-ended on that. I don't know
yeah.
anything
I
about
mean, who
that place.
knows? Maybe they get lost in the woods
Yeah,
and shit happens, and then they decide to
that
do it
could be.
because they go crazy. Who
Right.
knows?
And that's why, how could you explain it, like, and especially like out of all places in the world, that's the one place like where it's this, like the only place where it's called Suicide Forest, as far as I know.
Yeah.
How do we know that they're not, like, again, the Blair Witch Project? They
Oh
walk
my
in
God.
circles before they ended up going nuts? And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
that's
I
what I'm
get it.
saying.
Like, that's
Video
like,
sells.
I'm not only afraid of wrong turn people, but because remember when Blair Witch came out and everybody was like, thought it was real, so they were scared, but they were like, and then when
Right.
they found out, they were like, it's not scary anymore, it's not real. And I'm like, excuse me, can you imagine being lost in the woods like that?
Right.
And like not being able to get the fuck out?
And that's the fear that people, that's why that movie, I think they made that movie on $30,000, ended up making like almost like 800 million.
This is a scary movie. I don't care what anybody says. I
It's
don't
just
care.
because it's the way they did it. And I'm not saying, like, the Blair Witch actually does not exist, and like there's no documented history of it. They made that up. But when I was a kid, when I was like 16 and I saw that movie, I believed it. I really believed. But then you got to think about the strategy it took to actually get, 4 people out into the woods, and all the cast members did not know what the other cast member was doing, and they were all playing different roles. Like, it was so strategic. That's what they had, real fear. And real fear these days is not going to be coming through your ghost adventures, your ghost hunters. It's not like, people might get scared that are new to it, but the real fear comes from like actually going out into the unknown and you see somebody actually being scared, right? That's why, and I'm not trying to, talk crap about all these shows out there, because I'm not one of them. But the next level of filming is, you have to literally, for people to watch, they have to see you be scared, visually creeped. That's like you know what I mean?
I love it.
Blair Witch is a good example of that, because that's what that director did to his audience. He literally did that to people.
Yeah.
So now
No,
you got to go out and actually you got to try to compete with that. And that's hard to do when you're trying to do it for real. So
yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
yeah.
Just like us when I go live on my investigations. I always watching my little dinky channel because
Mhm.
Ghost Adventures
Yep.
is, that much more, and everybody's
Well,
running around.
I love Ghost Adventure. You know what's funny? Let's talk about that real quick. The Ghost Adventures is actually the show that I always watch. That was my go-to. It is my go-to still to this day. Ghost Adventures, right? Zach Bagans' Ghost Adventures. This is the problem. Everybody right now, and I'm saying because there's a lot of things happening in the paranormal world, wants to be Zach Bagans. You will never be Zach Bagans. I will never be on a level of Zach Bagans. Neither will anybody else. Everybody wants to be Zach Bagans. Zach Bagans has already done it. Okay. And that's why I'm trying to like shift my content to like, okay, Zach Bagans is always going to be Zach Bagans, and whoever he hands the torch to next, like when he retires, that's what it's going to be next. Right.
Yeah, but your stuff is real,
It is, but even if you capture evidence these days, if you post it on YouTube, if you even have it on Paraflixx or whatever, if you're on Travel Channel, like where all my, like some of my stuff has ended up on, there's always somebody that's going to be like, well, he faked that shadow, or he layered that, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always somebody that's going to say something, but try saying something when you are out in the woods or you're out in this. Anyone could do it in a building because you can have friends in a building. But when you're really in that POV environment and you can actually show your surroundings and do it without cutting video, that's the next type of film and like video content that's actually going to sell. It's not going to be group investigations. It's not going to be your, it's already being done, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just trying to do something different. And I really think that like if people were to pay attention, like I don't think people even want to get scared as much anymore. That might be it. Maybe they don't want to be scared.
I
Um
I've gotten scared once on an investigation to the point where I pulled a dude run. Nobody ran with me,
you just ran. Yeah.
but I
Just
told him, I said, that shit's coming right for us. And I jumped up, equipment went everywhere. I pushed my friend Megan out of the way. I was like in the house in 10 seconds. I was not, and I didn't go back outside for the rest of the night.
really.
I, in my defense, I think
Yeah.
it was a bear.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
It's usually the bear excuse at first.
But it was a bear.
Was it actually
Big,
a bear?
I think so. I didn't stick
Oh,
around. I think it was a bear. Um, I saw its eyes and they went into my soul and came back out. And then like I saw this, like it was walking, and I said, well, if that's in my head, I'm like, if that was a deer wouldn't be coming towards us. That's a fucking bear. And I
yeah. Like
lost my mind. And I took off. Um,
that would do
so
it for me.
yeah, I was scared.
Yeah, bears.
Um,
Yeah, you got to worry about bears in the woods
so
for
yeah,
sure.
so a couple people don't agree. Now, were you saying Zach as like as an example, like how famous Zach is and how much money he makes and all this and that, or did you mean actually Zach?
No, I'm saying. Well, I mean, if you were to look at all the TV shows on
Are you saying
networks
like
right now,
metaphorically?
no, I'm actually saying like everybody. Well, okay, well, I guess metaphor. Well, yeah, it depends on which way you take it. I'm not trying to start drama here. So,
No, no, no,
um,
no. I'm just
what
asking because
you have it, what I'm saying is that Ghost Adventures is, to me, in my opinion, is the show when it comes to paranormal, right? To me. Um and people say a lot about it. They're like, "Oh, no, it's a TV show. Let's put it this way. He's got to put reenactments in there. They got to, but to me, that's the most realistic TV show that you're ever going to see currently. Everyone's trying to play that character, in my opinion. In my opinion, what I see right now, even on my own network, there is people trying to be that.
that's why I watch
It,
Ghost Hunters because
Ghost Hunters started off. I used to watch it. See, I don't watch it as much. I don't know. I don't really.
yeah, I like Ghost Hunters because it's
They
not that. Ghost Hunters is they deal with like a lot of private homes and stuff, and
see
they're
the
helping someone.
residential stuff. Yeah, and that's actually
That's
that's
what
pretty
I
good
like.
though. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Ghost Hunters either. Like I used to watch them a lot. When they first like would when you saw the intro, like they were roto rooter like plumbers, and the van would
Yeah,
pull up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're great people. Absolutely. Yeah. No, and
yeah.
I think that they have actually done it first before actually Ghost Adventures.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
started in 2004. Still going.
yeah, way early on. Right. It
Yeah,
was, and that's what I'm saying. People like, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures. Um, I don't have any issues with anybody who's trying to put out films that are TV show based. But what I'm saying is like, it's like, I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to that because it's already been done. Um,
yeah.
so we're
Those
just
are
waiting
the.
for the next.
I think that's more like the YouTubers that are making all the money that
Oh
are
yeah.
faking. They're the
Oh,
ones
they're
that are trying
faking
to
everything.
attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
They're the
could
ones
drop
that are
names
like,
on that all day. I won't, but yeah, there's definitely, yeah.
yeah,
there's
they're the ones that want to be
there
Zach. You know.
and I
Um,
think that's what it is too. Like Zach he didn't come out even as a YouTuber, obviously, at the time when
no.
he did a documentary that was called Ghost Adventures, which is why Ghost Adventures is Ghost Adventures.
Yeah,
Um
I did watch Ghost Adventures for the first 2 seasons.
mhm.
I let like I thought that they caught maybe 3 seasons. I thought that they got a lot of good stuff. But then
Sure.
I just
Oh yeah.
thought that Zach started to get a little he was just a little bit too much for me, you know?
Yeah, like
Um,
cocky.
I love like Jeff Belanger is a friend of mine. I love him, you
Mhm.
know. Um, and he's one of the writers for the show, you know, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I can't. But I have been faithful and true to Ghost Hunters the whole time. Like I've watched them since 2004. Um, even when they were Ghost Nation, and now they're back to being Ghost Hunters. You know,
That's right. They were Ghost Nation for a while. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
right, yeah,
Yeah, and they're the ones actually that they started this whole thing. I think that's why you saw a lot of the YouTubers come out with going to haunted places is because of people like that.
Yeah, and that's what I said. They broke the mold, you know. And then
right.
Zach started it. Zach did his show, but Zach did it in a more, well, how do I want to say this? Like he did
It's
it in a
like
more
theatrical, like cinematic. Yeah, like movie.
Right.
It's like a movie in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there are people that you know clung to that, you know, and
oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's when all the YouTube people started saying, okay, look at how much money this guy's making. Look at everything that he's done. Just, you know, and
every shadow figure made $1 million that first came out of that in YouTube, and every voice on an EVP came out. Yeah, it really did. It started this whole thing.
Yeah. So
and that's why being a YouTuber now sucks. And I'm a YouTuber. Like
I try. I want to get off of Facebook so bad. But YouTube is so difficult.
It is, you know what it is, but it's not, but it is.
It totally is.
It's so drama is what it is.
And I don't even know that side of it because I'm not one of the people that, you know, has, you know, over I don't even have over 1,000 followers, but like I don't have that. But I don't have that, like, and my content isn't always live investigations, you know.
Sure.
It's my show. It's my Gettysburg Day tripping where I do either history stuff or I do paranormal stuff, you know. Literally have the camera turned away from me and everybody's seeing what I'm seeing, you know.
And that's what you should use it for. If that's what you enjoy doing, you want certain people to like that are gonna actually gravitate towards that. Because I didn't know coming into YouTube, you know what? When I first put a camera to my face, I was the most dorky. If I were to look back at my first video, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, I was not a camera guy.
Oh, me too. I'm like, I hope nobody ever Googles and looks for my first episodes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and then it's like, even if you hear yourself talking on your first video and you're not showing your face, you're like, wow, I was choppy and I said a lot of this or and yeah.
So you know what I used to do when I first would go live? I would go like this. Woo! and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my
was that like the intro? Before that was the intro before you could put text.
That was the intro before there was such thing as intros.
That's funny. That's rememberable though. That's rememberable.
So bad. But
that's awesome.
You know, obviously you could tell, you know, I've come a long way from that.
Yes,
oh my God, Mike! Don't you dare!
That's funny. That's funny. He's googly.
So bad. It's so bad. Yeah, the first 5 videos are your worst, and I think I went longer than 5, but you know, we don't need to rehash anything, Michael.
No, it is. It's like your first videos are garbage for sure for everyone. It's like there's no way that you're learning something that you can't be taught. Really, you have to have almost a personality. You have to find that personality with experience of being not camera shy for one. Because I would always look. I don't know. I would do weird stuff. I would I was so excited, but then I sounded stupid at the same time. And I'm like,
I know. I can't even go back and rewatch my shows. I hate.
Oh, I don't watch any of my old stuff ever. Yeah. If I got a really good video where I caught like something, or I'm like, I edit it really well, or I'm like, wow, like I'm waiting for did I get that beat drop right when I cut it on time? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not really watching me. Like, I don't want to see me. I think that's how most people are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see myself.
Yeah. I don't. And then I get a lot, people that aren't like in the paranormal field, but they somehow catch an episode of like Ghost Hunters, like, were you on that show? I'm like, no, that's Sherry. Everybody thinks me and her look alike, and I think that it's I'm like, that's cool. Not me.
See, you could be like an extra now, though. You could fill in.
Oh, yeah, if she has
You know what I
I'm gonna
mean?
tell her that. I'm gonna tell her
Money.
that.
You should.
Uh, so here's a question, although I did wanna ask you because I don't think we talked about it. Do you use equipment?
I do. I have. I have now minimized it. So actually I never really had a lot of like so I'll use like night vision cameras. Um and it depends on where, but if I'm in a place where it's completely dark, I'll use night vision cameras with like IR lighting so you can see my environment. K2 meter that I actually gave away at Spirits in the Spring at Broadhead to a little girl and her brother that kept buying my raffle tickets, so I had no choice but to give it up. So, um, SB7 Spirit Box I do use, but I'm finding myself actually, a lot of people. What I found out through this whole time of filming, they will actually timestamp my audio from my videos and saying that they heard voices just from my camera audio. And I'm finding that is where most of the evidence comes from, and then I'll go back and listen to it and I'm like, holy shit, like
Listen,
that
that's
was,
why I right. That's why
yeah.
I
So I
don't
leave it to people to decide what they saw and heard. I don't want to try to prove nothing unless you really see it. But even then, if I show it on video, there's someone that's going to try to disprove it and they're going to
Oh,
just say
yeah,
all
for
this.
sure.
So I leave it to you as a viewer. You know what? I'm just here to scare the shit out of myself and see if I can stay the night type thing or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
You be the judge. And I think that you can't argue that.
No.
I don't think
Well,
you can
it's
argue
funny
that.
that you say that because, you know, so the picture I got of the soldier on the,
Mhm.
railroad cut in Gettysburg, I didn't even see that. I was going through my pictures, and somebody that's not even into the paranormal who was with me, she goes, "Wait a second, go back. What was that?" I'm like, "What was what?" So we go back, and I look and I go, "Holy shit, what is that?" She's like, "There wasn't anybody on the railroad. There was nobody there when you were taking those pictures."
Right.
And then the second one is one of my most favorite EVPs I have. Speak of the devil, he is not into the paranormal at all. And we were listening to audio. I was asking him to listen to something for me because a, a, a non-knowledgeable ear is my favorite ear because
Yeah. Yeah.
they have no idea what they're listening for. They have
Yeah,
no
exactly.
idea,
Yeah.
right? So I'm listening to my recorder and he goes, "Wait a second, go back. What was that?" And it sounds like there's another woman standing in the room with us. Like, and I didn't even
Wow.
hear that,
Right.
and it was intelligent, it was loud, so having ears and eyes that just aren't familiar
Yep.
is like the best ears and eyes that I think there are.
That's a good point though. That's true. Because
Yeah.
it's almost like that scenario, like if you heard something and you turn to your friend, you'd be like, "Did you hear that?" And they're like, "Hear what?" "Well, you
Right.
heard it. I heard it. Did you hear it? Did you hear what?" It's either you're crazy or you heard it.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I get that. That's actually a good thing. Like when you have the skeptics are actually the best people to have. If you're in a group and you do this stuff, you need skeptics in that group. At least one.
Kenny Biddle's my go-to.
Yep. You
He's
need
my
you need
favorite.
somebody who's not hearing like what you because we're at if we were even me myself, I'm expecting to, if there's a lady in a white dress floating across the lake somewhere on Crystal Lake and she's, howling because she lost her baby and she's just like moaning, I'm expecting to hear that. Whereas the person that I may have with me is a skeptic that he's just trying to debunk everything. And I think people need that
Oh, for
within
sure.
their, and it's because you're just going in already with the information and your research and your
Absolutely.
brain has already mentally prepared itself
Well,
to hear that.
and I don't think everything is paranormal, but I am a believer, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go in. I am going to try to figure out what it is. I'm not going to
Yeah.
automatically just believe it's paranormal, but I may believe that it's paranormal easier than
Yep.
somebody that, you know, is either more on the skeptic side or a skeptic,
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
I'm a healthy skeptic for sure. But,
Yeah.
I just, I can't, but when I first started out, everything was paranormal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Everything. Everything was found. There were faces in trees and
Oh, the face, the matrixing and the
yes, photo
yep,
matrixing, paranoia,
yep.
all of it. Like I was so bad, right? I thought I had an apparition in every freaking photo.
Yeah. Your pillowcase had an apparition of a face before you slept on it type. Yeah.
Until I got
Yep.
a real picture of an apparition. Then I was like,
Yep.
I ain't got shit all those years. Like that.
Yeah, and that's what I know it's weird. It's like when you first, if you're involved in the interest of, if you watch the shows and if you're already you're prepping your mind, I think, in a way to opening it up to receiving, because you almost like know how to like, in not where to look, but like you almost know what to look for. I
Right.
think that helps. And that's like, I think a skeptic's mind, if it's closed off too much, they're just going to ignore. If
Right.
you hear an EVP, let's say audibly, like without hearing on a recording, you hear it out of thin air, they may not be tuned into that
Well,
type
and
of
that's
thing,
why
you
I
know?
leave my recorder going the entire time.
Yeah, and that's a good way to back that up. Exactly. That's a perfect example of like why you should always be recording audio
Always.
no matter what.
I
For
get it all
sure.
the time. I'll hear stuff audibly and I'll say
Yep.
it, and either one or two people hear it, everybody hears it, nobody hears it, but I
Yep.
rewind it and it sounds exactly what was heard.
Yeah. Record audio. I most of my evidence is out of audio
Me too.
all the time. It's like always somewhere, and it don't matter where I'm at, there's some voice that's like whispering or like growling. I'm like, oh shit, where am
Yeah.
I?
Darren is on a question kick here.
Go ahead.
But let me think here. Hold on. Where did he go? There he goes. What is your favorite urban legend in Wisconsin?
Ooh, that's a good one. Urban legend of Wisconsin. That's gonna probably be, there's tons of them. I'm trying to think. If I got to think back when I was a kid, because I know I heard stuff when I was a kid. There's nothing that I've investigated while doing this. Urban legend with, you got the Beast of Bray Road. That's probably number 2. That one is very intriguing because so many people have seen this thing and they still are. Urban legend. There is
What about? Did you? No, I don't know if this is Wisconsin. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
it might be.
I forgot he said Wisconsin.
I'm trying to figure out an urban legend of Wisconsin. There is in Stevens Point, there's a couple bridges. I think like there's like these Bloody Bride bridge type. There's this one, I don't know I think it's Stevens Point. If Mike is still on here, he might be able to verify this. There is one that I've heard about. It's called Boy Scout Lane, and it's about a troop of Boy Scouts that took a bus or a couple buses down this road, and they all ended up dying. I don't know how. I can't remember how. I think it was pretty brutal. And they, till this day, like now it's private property. This road, Boy Scout Lane Road or whatever it is supposed to be super haunted. I have not yet to be there. That is probably one of my favorite urban legends.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw somebody say Bigfoot. We have in Kettle Moraine Forest, northern and southern units, massive sightings of Bigfoots in the last couple of years that are like, there's just insane amount
of
of
Bigfoot.
Yep. Crazy. Like research Kettle Moraine Forest and you will see Wisconsin's actually got its Bigfoot culture here. Like when it comes to people seeing them, they're like people riding horses on horse trails and farmers and but there's no Bigfoot tail, I would say. But Boy Scout Lane, I think that's in Stevens Point. Yeah, okay. Mike said Boy Scout Lane is legit. That is one of the places that I want to investigate. Yeah.
Isn't there a bloody bridge or something like that in Wisconsin?
There is actually. There's like 2 of them. I can't remember the name of them. That's what I was trying to like gear towards. But like, there's always a bride in a white dress that like is walking down the bridge or down the road.
Good Lord.
It's always something with ladies in white dresses, and that's like everywhere. So I don't know if it's true. I want to see if it is or not, but that would be like one of the things I would love to do. You know, people are like, oh, you see a mist cross the bridge, and then all of a sudden you hear a voice off in a distance type thing. I'd like to investigate stuff like that, because if it's like real, well, I'll go check it out.
What's the next place you're going?
The next place I'm going,
Yeah.
the woods.
Where?
Deep. There's.
Gettysburg?
I mean, that's in July, right? That's in July. I got like what, 3 weeks? Yeah, we could do that. I am with the missing 411. So like with Paraflixx, I'm now filming. The missing 411 theories, they change all the time, and there's these new documentaries with the guy who like tagged the missing 411 name. He copyrighted it, so I can't use the missing 411 alone. So I put Wisconsin in front of it, and that's why I was able to put it on Paraflixx. So I have one episode where I'm explaining the whole theories and the weird stuff with missing 411. But my next stages of filming are literally going out to the woods where people have went missing, and where dogs lost the scent, like search and rescue dogs lost the scent of people like at a certain distance, and then they literally where someone went missing, and seeing if I could experience anything in that part of the woods or nearby.
Yeah.
And in like sleeping there and just trying to, I don't know, man, like there's a lot of like people are talking about like you might end up in a different time, or like there's portals and stuff. That's intriguing to me. No one's investigating stuff like that unless you're like doing UFO hunting and you're like a FBI leak agent.
You mean if you're Mulder or Scully?
Right. Yeah. So that is, I'm trying to do the wood stuff, and I'm not, I know I was talking about like Blair Witch Project stuff. No, I'm not filming movies. I'm really trying to there's people that actually went missing. There's 12 cases that I have in the last 3 years where there's people still to this day that went missing under these circumstances that are just so weird. So I want to be able to just go in those areas and or those part of the woods and just see. I mean, that's scary in itself.
They don't remain like crime scenes or anything, or I guess not, because they don't know where they went.
Yeah, right? It's not a crime scene unless they found a body and it looks like it was like some foul play involved. But a lot of the times, there's a lot of these cases that I've researched. I can't even go to the police departments or even search and rescue because they're still open cases of people who went missing literally 2 years ago. And as a matter of fact, Mike, if you're still listening, in the Dells, there was a guy who was at the Showboat Saloon in Wisconsin Dells, here in Wisconsin. It's about 2 hours from me. Mike lives right over there. Guy was at a bar on New Year's Eve last year, went missing, ended up in a river. Okay. They found him later on. He was in this river, but they got him on camera just kind of walking out this bar. He looked fine, and they found him in a river. A lot of these cases, if you're talking alien stuff, it doesn't just happen in the woods. A lot of people that leave bars in the city are being somehow they just go missing. They can't catch them on camera unless they were in the venue.
In Philly?
And they find them in bodies of water all the time.
That happened in Philly near me. These two people, they were from Marlton or Mount Laurel, which is right near me. It became a big story because they were out at a bar in Philly and just disappeared.
It's crazy if you really add up how many people go missing at let's say the downtown scene of wherever you live. Do the research on that and how many people actually left and never been found.
Yeah.
And later on maybe find their bodies or not, but I don't see people just jumping in the water when they're drunk all the time. I don't.
So scary where people.
And there's this guy that was on some documentary saying there is people that have been found that way, where they saw certain cameras on a bank or whatever caught a flash of light where this person happened to be. It's kind of universal. I don't know. That's the thing. It's I don't know, but there's cases all around Wisconsin that I know that I can investigate, at least that involved the missing 411. So I'm kind of the woods is where a lot of them are, unfortunately. So I'm oh shit. Here we go. I gotta stand up for the name.
I crawl into garbage bags when I'm drunk. Okay, good for you, Darren.
That you might get thrown into something like a trash compactor or something. You don't
Yeah,
want
really.
Yeah.
So, did you see? I shared a picture the other day. There's an abandoned train in the woods somewhere. I don't know where that's at.
I did an abandoned train video actually recently. Well, last November.
I wonder if that's the same one. Where's
I think I saw that picture actually that you're talking about. It's not the same one. If it's probably not in Wisconsin because I did mine. Mine was in
so
Wisconsin.
when let's just say you're driving around and you're about your normal daily life, and you see like a building somewhere, or you come across somewhere, like, are you like, oh my God, I gotta go in. I want to go check.
Yeah, that's actually this whole last year has been like we've been trying to find. So there's this girl she's on Expedition Entity with Paraflixx, Jenny Coles. She's on my YouTube videos quite a bit, and she's like my investigator pretty much. She'll go out and drive around and find places. We've done, if it's an abandoned, like she's found farms that we went on to. Some of them are very sketchy as far as like, like the houses are so old and the floor. Like we went in this one place one time where like the rat pee or the like raccoon, whatever animals were in there, feces, it was so potent that you couldn't stand in there for more than a minute. Like it was just raunchy. So we're always looking for stuff like that. So Wisconsin's hard.
Do you get permission or you just go in?
If there's no signs, we will just go in. Now, there's this abandoned mall for the last 30 years. It's called Northridge.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. So there's actually there's like known YouTubers that came from around the country that actually went in this place. It's caught on fire. Last summer, there was like 13 fires or something, 14 fires. People were just lighting this mall on fire. And now it's it's crazy. Why? But I wanted to get into it last summer. And now they've gated it up. There's security. They got signs everywhere, obviously.
Because of idiots.
Yep. Everyone else ruined it for the future explorers. So they're about to tear this mall down. And I wish that I could have got into it. But even it's in a bad part of the city. So it's also like you wouldn't want to park your car and trying to walk over there. And
yeah, but you know what? Some of the coolest places are in the shittiest neighborhoods.
They actually are. Actually, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I did a grain silo. It's only on my YouTube channel, but it's an abandoned grain silo. And I remember when we were in there, now we had to crawl through a window that was about like this big. I'm not even lying. I'm 6'2" and like 230. I had to squeeze my way through this little window, right? But we got to this, we were trying to get to the roof of this building, and it's like 5 stories up, but it's a spiral metal staircase. And it's in the pitch black, and I had my camera and I had a helmet on because I was worried about falling concrete. This place is old, but to get up to the roof, there's this spiral staircase, and it took us like 5 or 7 minutes. Like it was a long time. And all I remember is looking over the railing, and it was shaking. And if you were to fall over this thing, you would have died. I mean, it was just like a void of blackness beneath.
Oh my God, I've been so
That's how high this was. So it's places like I've done that. I wasn't happy about going. I was shaking, like my nerves were so bad. So
I love that you still do it. You still do it even though you're scared. Like you push yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I know, but it's like you don't want to die.
No,
no. I can't die.
I mean, after Steve Irwin died, I was like, okay, there's no hope for anybody that does anything.
When you get stung by a stingray in your heart, and it's
he's like the animal. He's like Dr. Doolittle and
it really was
Conan the Barbarian mixed into one, and he gets stabbed. Like,
it's almost like how is that? It's like such a perfect like ending to somebody's life who've done so much for animals. Yeah,
you know. But so before I let you go, because I've had you for a really long time,
no worries.
Tell everybody where they can find you and your awesome videos. All your videos that we talked about tonight, they're up on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, right now, I would say if you want to see anything recent, definitely go to YouTube at Visually Creeped. You can go to Facebook, Visually Creeped. I'll interact with people there. I'll post my videos there. Now, I haven't been doing a lot of filming recently, but there is stuff that's happening right now. Like, you got to remember, I'm trying to film YouTube and Paraflixx at the same time. Those are two separate entities. Like, Paraflixx is definitely going to be more show oriented and like more thought out and planned. I have
More
a special.
production. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a production. So like, I'm a dad. I'm my son's special needs. I got to take care of my kids. So I've been like, but now we're planning more. Mike is actually, he might be involved in a lot of things that we're doing. Broadhead Manor, it might be in the mix of this. I don't want to say too much about that. Paraflixx is definitely going to get their episodes. When you want to know more about the missing 411, because you can only catch that on Paraflixx. But when it comes to urban exploration, even other cryptid stuff, go to YouTube. Definitely you're going to see, like, this summer for sure, there's going to be so much coming out. So
Cool.
just Google Visually Creep. It's like, I think I own the first page on that one, as a matter of fact. It's such a weird name. Such a weird name.
I love it.
No one's got that name. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you can make it out to Gettysburg. That would be cool.
I'm trying, like, Mike actually invited me out and he said he would drive. I'm just trying to figure out, like, if I can do it and have my little boy be watched and I can actually make that trip. And I think it's possible. It might happen.
Yeah, that would be cool. You'll have so much fun.
Yeah, I know I would, because
it's a fucking blast.
I'm just gonna just get lost.
Yeah. And honestly, you get lost, but then you can't, you get found. You know what I mean? Like Gettysburg is just, it's amazing. And the parties are fun. The people are going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So it'll be a cool thing,
I'm totally going to shoot for it. I'm just, absolutely. It's on my list. I definitely want to make that.
And you'll get to hang out with me and my peaches.
Hell yeah. Like, what's funny? Like, when I was at Spirits in the Spring at Broadhead in Wisconsin, like when we did that, all of a sudden I had, like, not just you, like, my inbox is like, hey, do you want to be on this podcast? Hey, do you want to do this Paracon? And like, I can't do everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta film yet. You guys, like, if you keep putting me on and you don't see anything being delivered, then everyone's gonna be like, well, we're just talking about his videos from last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But it's also great to see that people are, like, really willing to invite me, and like I met Mike there and stuff. So networking is a big thing. You got to do that.
It really is, and that's what's good with the Paracons and all that stuff. Like, networking is, and getting your name out there, which is, when you were on Darren's show, I said, wow, I got to get him on the brew, because
when I did his stuff, I was like, I had no idea. Well, I met him at the Paracon, and I'm like, then he contacted me later. I'm like, I've never done podcasts, or maybe once I've done, but I usually just like film, put it on YouTube, put it on, like, Paraflixx, and that's it. I don't really look for attention. I don't want to be on these things that much. Not that I'm saying it's wrong or I don't like it, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm just.
It's not your
film. It's not, but I'll do it. It's fun. Like, this is fun. Like, yeah, there's no issue with this. It's just I don't generally take time to, like, I don't put aside time for it. And that's it. And
it's good that you do it, because all these people that watch my show probably, now are, and that's how I met Darren. Darren was watching my show, and all he kept doing was question every guest. I'm like, and he had the best questions. And then I started realizing he had a YouTube channel. So I watched his YouTube channel, and I'm like, he's not getting enough exposure. Like, he has a good show. He does things good. So I said, start streaming on Paranormal Brew. He was like, and I'll start helping him. I started doing the paranormal question of the day with him and everything, and trying to help him out a little bit. And I hope I helped him. So
yeah, it's just consistency is really the key. Like, I get it. Like, even like when I do some of these things, like, people are like, how do I start doing what you do? Like, really, if you want to, take your cell phone. If you don't have, like, a fancy camera, like we use DSLR cameras. Like, they're a lot of money to buy them, but you don't need that. Your Apple phone, if you have one of those, records better than my camera.
Yeah.
Like, I like to inspire people too. So that's why I like getting on these type of things. Like, cause I literally never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing. Like, I was doing something way opposite compared to this.
Yeah,
before it. You
and
know what I
now
mean?
you're doing something that you love to do. It makes such a difference in your daily
Yeah.
life.
I like telling stories, and I like, I'm, as far as, like when ADHD goes, like I'm visual. I like painting pictures, and video is a way of doing that. So
Thanks, Dr. J. Thanks for watching.
yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yes, he is a very, very hardworking physician, so I appreciate his time, and he's
Absolutely.
really, really awesome. He's so good. I love him.
Yeah, that's great. I
Um,
appreciate that.
so hopefully I'll see you in Gettysburg. If not, I definitely have already subscribed to your channel, so I hope I get to see
Thank
some
you.
videos.
Yeah.
And anybody that's watching, please, I've had it up at the bottom. Please just go to YouTube and, give Justin here a little like, follow, shares, and subs, and all
Do
that
it.
good stuff,
Good
and
stuff is coming. We're gonna get scared in the woods. Yep. Cabin in the woods, Blair Witch in the woods, whatever's in the woods.
I'll do Gettysburg in the woods with you.
I'm trying to, like, I'm telling you, if there's woods in Gettysburg, we should go deep in the woods. I'm telling you,
We
that's like
will, but that's it. That's
that's
the only woods I'll go in
I have to do it.
unless you're strapped.
Now that I know that, like, okay, now that I know, like, the flexibility on, like, getting into the woods, we're
Although you're
going to the woods.
6'2" and you weigh 230, I can't imagine too many people fucking with you if they go across it.
It's crazy, but you know what's crazy though? Like, I'll go out and do this stuff even alone, but you're more afraid of people that
Yeah.
you
Oh,
don't
for
want to run into
sure.
a person when you're like in the woods at night. You don't want to run into. I'm scared of shit when no, like, I carry all sorts of weapons.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. I
yeah,
know.
if someone's in the woods, it don't matter how big you are, their intentions, if they're out there at 3 o'clock in the morning messing with you, you don't want
Well,
to.
they're crazy if they're out there at 3
Yeah,
o'clock in the
it
morning.
don't matter how big you are. Any big guy would be scared of that.
Oh, for
That's my
sure.
biggest fear. I'm a scaredy cat in the woods. I'm telling you, my fear will sell. I'm telling you, I will shit my pants for sure. Yeah, that's
I'm the
the
same
point, right?
way.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. You want me to poop myself. I know you want to see it. I know people want to see that.
Visually pooped.
Yeah. I might have to put that one on a shirt. Visually creeped in the front, visually pooped, or
Yes.
yeah. I don't know. Am I done yet? I don't know.
Justin, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming
Absolutely.
on.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, no, this was great. I appreciate you. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
I'll have to have you on again.
Absolutely.
And until hopefully I see, like I said, hopefully I see you in Gettysburg. If not, we'll have to plan on, um, you know, you coming on again, and
Yeah.
maybe
No,
after all your other stuff comes out, we can have you on and talk about all that cool stuff.
absolutely. No, you'll know about Gettysburg with, I think, in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna have to make that decision to see if it's happening. So you'll know. You'll
Cool.
be one of the few to know. So yeah, don't worry
Cool.
about that. We're gonna try to make that work. So
Awesome. 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 Thank you
yeah.
again. You're a sweetheart. And
Yeah,
thank you
thank
so
you. I
much. I love what
appreciate
you're
you.
doing, and keep doing it. And, I'm looking forward to more videos.
Absolutely. Well, you as well. Thank you for you're doing a great job. I like
Oh,
this.
thank you. Thank
Appreciate it.
you. Thank you. I will talk to you soon.
All right. See you, everybody.
Well, that was great. I knew it was going to be a good one. I was looking forward to it. Very thankful for Justin coming on. He's got a lot on his plate. Thank you, Ajing, for watching. Your sweetheart, Indonesia. Till next week, guys. I will see you guys next week. The brew will be back Wednesday at 8:30, 45-ish. You know how it goes. Thank y'all.